Members of the House, please be seated.
Will the House come to order? Mr. Clerk.
Aloha and good afternoon. Today's invocation will be delivered by Representative Sonny Ganaden. Will the members who wish to participate please rise?
Stay seated, please. Happy 3-day weekend, everybody. Happy Easter. Of the many things to lament this year, I missed the paddling season, mainly because everything looks so different from the seat of a canoe. And from a vantage just a mile from here at the buoys at Cavallo, Honolulu looks like a much smaller town than it does from land, as if the opposite vertices of the Polynesian Triangle are just paddling distance over the horizon. And like many of you, I have an unreasonable fondness for the water and the ways that a chorus of waves can induce a temporary amnesia from a long workday. The way a blazing summer day descends into stars when cumulus clouds double over, cascading in lace and shading patches of deep water. The way open wind swells pulse in tight, evenly spaced rollers, the pattern of a tessellation. And much of what I know about this place, I don't know from your words or my own, but from the practice, paddling practice, especially the ways an overbearing person can be a hindrance. Team sports teach you to forgive yourself and others often. A less powerful group, entering and exiting the water together, breathing in unison, can be fast, efficient, and gorgeous. The canoe is something of a metaphor for human rights. A broken paddle inspired the first law of this land. The Supreme Court and later this body inscribed in law that the shoreline belongs to all of us, up to the high tide mark where you can safely park a canoe during a storm. In hastening to the shore, you can catch a glimpse of where the land's curve lies, clad in green against the pull of the wind. With what we're up against, we must stay connected to each other, lest our attempts founder upon the reef. We only reach calmer seas with our heads up, connected, with each breath reaching out farther towards the horizon. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Aquino, Ms. Bellotti, Mr. Bronco, Mr. Cullen, Ms. DeCoit, Ms. Eli, Mr. Ganaden, Mr. Gates, Ms. Har,
Present.
Mr. Hashem, Mr. Hashimoto, Mr. Holt, Ms. Ichiyama, Mr. Iligan, Mr. Johansson, Ms. Capella, Ms. Kitagawa, Mr. Bertrand Kobayashi, Mr. Dale Kobayashi, Mr. Kong, Mr. Lopresti, Ms. Lowen,
Excused.
Ms. Luke, Ms. Martin,
Excused.
Mr. Matayoshi, Ms. Matsumoto, Mr. McDermott, Mr. McKelvey, Ms. Morikawa, Ms. Nakamura, Mr. Nakashima, Mr. Nishimoto, Mr. Ono,
Excused.
Ms. Okimoto, Mr. Onishi, Ms. Peruso,
Excused.
Mr. Quinlan, Mr. Saiki, Mr. Sayama, Mr. Takayama, Mr. Takumi, Mr. Tam, Mr. Tarnas, Mr. Todd, Mr. Tokioka,
Excused.
Mr. Ward, Ms. Wildberger, Mr. Woodson, Mr. Yamane, Mr. Yamashita, Mr. Speaker.
Here.
Mr. Speaker, 46 members are present, 5 are excused.
Thank you very much. Reading of the journal, Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I move we dispense with the reading of the journal of the 24th to the 35th days and approve the same as though read throughout.
Thank you. Representative Matsumoto.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you very much. It's been moved and seconded that Journal Days 24 through 35 be approved. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed say no. The motion is carried. Mr. Clerk, are there any messages from the governor?
Mr. Speaker, there are none.
Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk, are there any Senate communications?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we are in receipt of communications transmitting the noted Senate concurrent resolutions, all having been adopted in the Senate. We are in further receipt of a communication returning House Bill number 671, House Draft 2, Senate Draft 2, having passed third reading in the Senate.
Thank you very much. Representative Bellotti.
Mr. Speaker, I move to disagree to the amendments made by the Senate to the noted House bill.
Thank you very much. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you very much. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed saying no. The motion is carried. Members, are there any announcements? Yes, Representative Ganadin.
Speaking again. Mr. Speaker, April is designated as Month of the Military Child Month, underscoring the important role military children play in the armed forces community. We're hoping this body supports us as a time to applaud military families and their children for the daily sacrifices they make and the challenges they overcome. In light of that, we will be hopefully wearing purple on April 21st, Purple Up Day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Representative. Further announcements, members? Yes, Representative Ward.
Speaker, just for everyone to have a happy and blessed weekend that is for Easter. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Further announcements? Okay, if not, for the motion to adjourn, Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand adjourned until 12 o'clock noon Monday.
Thank you very much. Representative Matsumoto.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Thank you very much. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed say no. The motion is carried. The House stands adjourned until 12 noon Monday.